understand what they're doing anymore. So I think that's where we also really need NDLA.
All right, then, let's carry on. Moving on to another story. This time, the time is of the essence, the past, present, and future. This is Notable Timelines, reminding you of who, what, and where. Yeah, I love the fact that Olamide introduced dance to this segment. Maybe I'll learn to do takasufe. You know, that's the kind of dance that we do, you know, back in the day, as if I was there. Now, as the world comes together to mark World AIDS Day, communities across Nigeria are joining the global call for awareness, support, and sustained action against HIV. In Lagos, health officials and residents are taking part in activities promoting free testing, early treatment, and the fight against stigma, reinforcing the shared commitment to ending new infections. Recent health updates show progress in treatment access nationwide, where experts say collective responsibility remains vital in protecting vulnerable groups and supporting those living with the virus. For many Nigerians, today is a reminder of how far the country has come and how much more can be done, can be achieved when everyone stays informed, compassionate, and involved. All right, quite notable timelines. You know, today we're spotlighting the HIV virus, HIV and AIDS, or what have you. It is good that the country is paying attention to this, even though the the US decided to withdraw their own, support under the USAID, etc. But we are still marching on and fighting the cause of sound health, good health, and public safety in our country.
Awareness on things like this should be continuous with the same momentum at which it started with. There shouldn't be a lull. It should, if it started, let's say, at 160 kilometers per hour, for example, it should continue like that in perpetuity, because we have younger ones growing into adulthood and they need this information. It is so heartwarming that Nigeria as a country has taken the bull by the horn, and they are energizing their awareness of HIV/AIDS. When it started, a lot of people thought it was a death sentence, and now we know that with good and correct medication, your viral load can be so low that you live a normal life. This information has to get to a lot of people. We have to have some kind of funding for NGOs, the way the USAID used to do it in those days, so that the news goes farther and to the hinterland.
That's right.
Of course, I totally agree with you, Etoma, and I say that we should not just celebrate it only on World AIDS Day. We should cut across and celebrate it every day and make sure that we are creating awareness. The other day, we had a conversation with a lady. She joined us on the show, and we're talking about, the stigmatization that has to do with HIV and AIDS. And I hope and I pray that, the conversation we had will follow through that. Right now, people are not, afraid to say, I have HIV/AIDS. People are living with it. They get married. They even give birth to children. We also spoke about testing yourself. A lot of people do not want to go to the hospital because they're afraid of the outcome. She said that you can test at home. If it's positive, then you go and seek, medical attention. So I think we're getting to an era whereby we should reduce the stigma on it. We should also celebrate people living with it, because we need to understand that AIDS is not just given only from sexual transmission, from your blade, from different reasons. Because oftentimes when we see somebody with AIDS, oh, this person's a prostitute, but people get it from different ways. Some people are even born with it. So I'm happy that we're celebrating today, but it needs to cut across.
Very quickly, I remember, back in the day, sometime in 2015 or thereabouts, I was in Ibadan, and then, all this normal testing on the road, and then I decided to, okay, let me just have a test. And then after the test, the lady gave me a roll of, condoms, like maybe almost 20 of them. I crossed to the other road, and I was like, why was I given this? Was that to say that I was probably positive? Then I crossed back and I was like, come on, show me the results. He said, you're negative. I said, oh, so why do you have to give me this? Just that's the normal thing to do.
To keep you safe. Of course, that's the best way. If you cannot abstain, you definitely need to protect yourself. But thank you, Ibrahim. Those were really fantastic stories. Thank you so much. Well, this is where we will close the curtain on the breakfast show this morning. Let's let you know that the views and reactions of our resource persons are theirs and have no connection whatsoever with TVC. Up next is Your View with the beautiful ladies, and just